everyone, welcome back to Chasing Turtles. My name is Imogen. In today's video we are visiting San Francisco's public library, and we are also visiting San Francisco's cable car museum and hopefully riding on a cable car. If you are new here, I do not live in San Francisco, I am just visiting, but I am making the most out of my visit. And if you are very new here, make sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So, I have just arrived at San Francisco Public Library. Here it is. There it is. Sorry about the digger in the way, there's some construction going on. But anyway, I love libraries, and part of the point of this trip is to find out whether San Francisco would be a sort of viable place for me to eventually move. So obviously I had to visit the public library, so let's go. Oh, they've got a bookstore. This is awesome. They've got water fountains? This is amazing. Okay, so I'm done with the library. That was absolutely awesome. I loved it. It's got like so many floors and pretty much anything you could want to read about. I spent some time, they've got a whole Centre for Queer Literature, so I spent some time, like an hour, reading a book about bisexuality in there, which was great. It's really quiet, really peaceful, absolutely loved it. Anyway, we are now off to the Cable Car Museum. Look at this, it's Smokey the Bear. He's the sort of wildfire prevention mascot as far as I'm aware. I hadn't come across like a poster for him before, but yeah, there he is. Only you can prevent wildfires. Okay, so here we are at the Cable Car Museum. Now, cable cars are a really big, important part of San Francisco's history, and hopefully we're going to go on one later. But for now, let's just learn a little bit about them. So, these are the machines that run all the cable cars in San Francisco, and they run constantly. So there you go, that's cool, right? So there's a little explanation over here. And yeah, cable cars, apparently they have batteries for lighting, but they are only moved by these guys. And this claims to be the only operating cable car system in the world. Damn. So the San Francisco cable cars were originally invented as a way to like replace horses on some of the really steep streets, which obviously you've seen from my earlier vlogs that the streets in San Francisco are very steep, and if you're a horse and you're trying to haul a lot of like stuff up and down these streets, it's not good. So they created the cable cars as an alternative, and it's been fascinating. Apparently in the 1940s there was an attempt to like modernize the city and get rid of the cable cars, but the residents were like, no way, so they were preserved, and yeah, this is the result. And as a result, San Francisco still has a functioning cable car system, and we're about to go ride it. Damn, I'm gonna behave myself. So this shows the difference between cable cars and street cars, and I actually didn't know there was a difference, so I've been educated today. But yes, cable cars were invented in 1873 by Andrew Halliday, and street cars were made practical, it says, in 1888 in Virginia by Frank Sprague. So yeah, they are different things. And also interesting to note that cable cars are protected under the San Francisco City Charter, so they're like, yeah, protected by legislation. So that was actually really interesting. They had a whole lot of history about like the technicalities of it and how the cable cars are actually constructed and how they work. So apparently how it works is the individual cables are like woven from metal strands, and they have to be replaced every 250 days, I think, because obviously they wear out. And they have a special like system in place that detects when there's like a frayed strand, and it automatically like stops and like sends an alert. So yeah, it's a very complicated safety sort of system, but it's quite comforting to know that's in place. And also, the other thing that I found was interesting was that like not all of the lines are running at one time. So I went up to the information desk because I was like, maybe I can get tickets here or like information or whatever. Turns out you buy them on board, but anyway. And I said, oh, I want to go on this line from here to here. And the lady was like, oh yes, but you need to just check it's running. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, sometimes they don't all run. And you got to check the right like turning wheel, if that makes sense. So I went up to the sort of mechanism and that wheel wasn't running. So that line's not running right now. So I'm going on a different line. But I thought it was interesting, like, I mean, obviously you can tell which line's running from where it's running from, but I hadn't considered that. So yeah, that was also interesting. Anyway, finally, let's go and get on a cable car. As a side note, I was just walking past Grace Cathedral and isn't it pretty? I feel like I needed to show it to you because this is a magnificent cathedral. There's one of the cable cars. I'm gonna go get on it. So, on board a San Francisco cable car. This is what it looks like when you're sitting on it. We're moving. You can also hang off the side like this. Don't worry, I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die. Whee! And this is what it looks like when you're hanging off the side going uphill. So we should be getting right to the top of the hill in a minute, and then you will see the view. Bear with me. Holy shit, look at that! Woo! One of the highlights of my trip so far, and I've done a lot of stuff, but this is just so incredibly cool. Woo! Oh yeah, briefly, this is what the interior of the cable car looks like. You can see there's like some indoor seating as well. You don't just have to sort of sit outside and hang off the side, but you can, and it's fun. Okay, I am now done with my ride on the cable car and going to the Cable Car Museum and going to San Francisco Public Library, and I can say this was an absolutely 10 out of 10 day. I had a wonderful time. I'm feeling great right now, and I'm going to get the bus back to my Airbnb. But yes, if you're not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe, follow along for more adventures like this, give me a like and follow me on Instagram. I will see you guys in the next video. Go on a cable car if you're ever in San Francisco, I mean it. Bye!